Australia will recognise the right of the Palestinian people to a state of their own.
After years of protests, pressure and political hesitation, Australia has vowed to officially recognise a State of Palestine. And Israel is furious.
They know what they would do if right next to Melbourne or right next to Sydney you had this horrific attacks. I think you would do it, at least what we're doing.
Australia's decision comes almost 2 years after the October 7 war began. As we speak, Gaza is in ruins. Homes destroyed, hospitals collapsing, food and water running out of it. Thousands of civilians, including children, have been killed. A group of Al Jazeera journalists in Gaza were just wiped out in an Israeli strike. Week after week, we've seen pro-Palestine protests across our major cities calling for recognition.
No water, no electricity, people are dying in hospital.
The greatest injustice in the world. Babies are being killed. For what?
And the government has grown more and more vocal about it.
Will Israel take control of all of Gaza?
We intend to, in order to assure our security, remove Hamas there, enable the population to be free of Gaza, and to pass it to civilian governance.
When Netanyahu announced his plan to take full military control of Gaza, Albanese urged Israeli troops against entering the city.
The idea that it can just be continued is completely unacceptable.
Diplomatically and politically, it's quite significant given that the status of Palestine has been contested for decades, really. And of course, there's been an ongoing discussion within Australia for many years now, and certainly since Labor came back to office, whether or not the Albanese government would ultimately move to recognition of a Palestinian state.
Canberra's decision to recognise Palestine wasn't simple. The Palestinian territories are politically split. The West Bank is run by the Palestinian Authority, and Gaza is controlled by Hamas, which is a listed terrorist organisation. Those who opposed recognition said it would reward Hamas, but the government says recognition is conditional on Hamas not being part of the equation.
Our government has made it clear that there can be no role for the terrorists of Hamas in any future Palestinian state.
Australia isn't alone here. France, Canada and the UK have all announced plans to recognise Palestine, alongside over 140 UN member states that already had. At the UN General Assembly in September, Australia will formally recognise the State of Palestine as a sovereign state. This doesn't change borders or stop the war, but it's a powerful symbolic move. In diplomatic terms, it puts Palestine on the same level as Israel. It treats the Palestinian Authority as a government, rather than just an occupied administration. And it sends a message: Palestine has the right to exist.
In the short term, it means that Australia can immediately engage diplomatically on an equal level with the Palestinian Authority, or whichever government is formally recognised as being the legitimate government in Palestine at that point in time. That means that Palestinian diplomatic representatives can be accepted in Australia, Palestinian embassy can be accepted in Australia. It means that Australia can provide direct aid and assistance to the State of Palestine, rather than that aid and assistance having to go through United Nations agencies, as is currently the place.
But not everyone is happy about it. Many Jewish Australians see it as a betrayal of Israel and worry it could fuel anti-Semitism. There are also fears it could worsen our relationship with Israel.
The relationship that we have with Israel is more problematic because Benjamin Netanyahu has personally spoken out against Australia a couple of times now in the last year, and his position is that our government's position, being in favour of a two-state solution, saying that the situation in Gaza is untenable and unacceptable, he thinks that is amounting to a reward for Hamas. So it feels as though that particular bilateral relationship will be tense for quite some time going forward.
It defies imagination or understanding how intelligent people around the world, including seasoned diplomats, government leaders, and respected journalists, fall for this absurdity. It's so easy to verify.
Things might be different if the US recognised Palestine too. But under Trump, that's not likely to happen.
My view on it is that America doesn't particularly care what we think about this issue, and Donald Trump is just going to do what he's going to do, whatever. Perhaps that's a little too optimistic, but fingers crossed that's how it would play out.
At the end of the day, this is one of the biggest changes to Australian foreign policy in decades. For many people, it's been a long time coming, but the conflict remains far from over.